At the heart of our responsibilities as elected representatives to hold the government accountable and ensure that the allocation and utilization of resources are in alignment with the genuine needs and aspirations of the citizenry. We've got to prioritize. Sometimes it looks like government has got its priorities the wrong side up in the way they allocate resources. We want to show them the priority areas that we need to focus on. That healthcare is important. That education is important. If we want to secure the future of Ugandans, we must begin with the young people today who are in school. Just look at the pennies that are allocated to UPE, and you see how there is no prioritization. How do you secure the future of young people who are studying under trees, who have one teacher teaching all subjects in a class? Young people who are writing on the floor, and we think we are securing their future. No, we are not. We are robbing their future. How do you tell young mothers who are giving birth on the floor in hospitals across the country, including here in the city center? See the congestion in hospitals. People go to hospital and there's no doctor to attend to them. Where the doctor is present, they don't have equipment to use. And you tell those people, those young mothers that are securing their future, no, you're not. We are robbing their future. And we must talk about these issues. We must bring them to the fore as the opposition and say, these must be taken care of. Government prides itself in focusing on infrastructure. Is that true? I don't think so. Of recent, you saw the outcry about the situation of roads here in Kampala, the heart of the country, the face of the country, which generates over 60% of our country's budget. And it's not okay. And so we must speak out, we must give direction, and we must rally the people of Uganda to join this cause. This cause, ladies and gentlemen, is not just for us, the elected leaders. Of course, we must lead. And that's why the people of Uganda entrusted you and I to lead them, to speak for them, to be their voice. And as we do that, we should rally them to say, please join us in this cause. And I would appreciate the people of Uganda because they are waking up and smelling the coffee. As I've told you, traders are demonstrating as we speak. Because they are saying, no, we must speak out. So that's important. As we speak, all the English we can on the floor of Parliament, and we shall speak that English. We must rally the people of Uganda to say, all of us should be able to speak out. Because no one will be safe in a sinking boat. So it is our duty, all of us, as the people of Uganda, to see that we bring to an end this entire mess that we grapple with as a country. This duty goes beyond mere oversight. It is essential for committing the principles of good governance and ensuring that every Ugandan benefits equitably from the wealth of our nation. Our duty to keep the government in check is not simply a matter of political rivalry. It is a fundamental aspect of our democratic system, ladies and gentlemen. It is through oversight and scrutiny that we ensure that power is exercised responsibly and that the voices of the marginalized people are heard and represented. As we engage in this process of budgetary deliberations, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to upholding the principles of good governance. Let us ensure that every shilling of public funds is utilized effectively and efficiently to address the pressing needs of our nation. And let us never forget that our duty is not just to our constituents, but to the collective well-being of all Ugandans. And that's why we are national leaders. The people of Nakawa West sent me to Parliament, but I don't represent just the people of Nakawa West. The laws that we pass, the issues we deliberate on affect everybody, and it's important that we view ourselves that way, so that the people of Uganda see themselves in us, they hear their voice in our voices. Ladies and gentlemen, as we present our alternative budget to the nation, we reaffirm our commitment to fulfilling our oversight function on budget performance. We shall continue to hold the government accountable and ensure transparency in the allocation and utilization of resources, all in service of the people of Uganda. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the members of the Shadow Cabinet and the dedicated staff of the Office of the Leader of the Opposition for their tireless efforts in drafting this alternative budget. There are challenges, and we will continue to grapple with challenges. The staff has shrunk, we have fewer people, but they are dedicated, and we'll keep moving because we have got work to do. The people of Uganda don't expect excuses from us. They expect us to deliver on our mandate. The expertise of this team, Shadow Cabinet, and the staff that we do have and their commitment have been indispensable in shaping our vision for a more just and resilient Uganda. I'd like to appreciate you all for making the time to be here today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for God and my country. As I do it, I'm going to invite my leader, Baran, to take note that have joined us today from civil society. Civil society plays a very critical role, and it's important that we all keep joining hands. As I have said, the struggle we are involved in to see a better country is for all of us. It is for leaders, it is for civil society, it is for ordinary folks out there, it is for the traders, it is for the ordinary people, everybody. And so we do appreciate you. I will be taking note of each one by name. Our shadow minister for information at some point will take note of each one of them, but we do appreciate you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, do allow me to invite our OB. He's not only a leader, but he's an OB in this field. As we were walking down the stairs, he was reminiscing about his time in this field, especially during the COVID water call, talking a lot about that. He won't be with us entirely. In fact, I grabbed him from an engagement he was at, and so shortly after his remarks, he'll be going back to that engagement, but I'm glad he could make time. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable KYAGULANYI SSENTAMU. You're welcome, sir.
Mic check 1, 2. Right Honorable Leader of our Parliamentary Front, Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me also add my voice to send heartfelt condolences to friends, families, and comrades of Sarah Epelu, and I continue to pray that the Almighty rests a gentle soul in eternal peace. It is an honor today for me to share my thoughts with you this morning as we launch our alternative budget policies for the new financial year. The theme for today is a reflection of our vision for a new Uganda, a Uganda whose resources are exploited for the benefit of the citizens and not for the benefit of a select few individuals. A Uganda that protects and promotes dignity and basic freedoms and rights for every citizen. A Uganda that puts interests of the people, the citizens, at the forefront of public policy. The alternative budget priorities presented today recognize the plight of the ordinary Ugandan, whom the leaders derive their mandate from, and also pay of what we intend to do in order to make Uganda a country that works for every Ugandan. Ladies and gentlemen, Ugandans deserve better health care, they deserve better education, and they deserve better infrastructure in order for them to reach their full potential and benefit and enjoy all their fundamental rights. Because education is essential for producing skilled workers, a workforce that will transform communities, it's therefore important that our children study subjects and courses that are relevant to their passion and natural abilities. We cannot achieve without changing, we can't achieve this without changing or in fact overhauling our entire education system and realigning our education institutions. Considering that 75% of Uganda's disease burden is preventable, then we must make our priority should be done in a skilled and professional health workers through a fair recruitment process and go ahead to remunerate them fairly and on time. We must think about not only protect their intellectual property, but Dr. Hilderman and others who are creatives and within our leadership will elucidate on that. However, ladies and gentlemen, as attractive as all these alternative policies might be, it is actually impossible to achieve them if the leaders in charge of our national resources cannot rise above their petty selfishness. We must resist, we must reject, in fact, we must eject all forms of corruption in public administration. Otherwise, all this will be going to the west. Our sources will continue sinking down the long drain of personal greed at the expense of our collective well-being and at the lives of our people, our children, and our children's children. As a national unity platform, we shall continue to take decisive action in that regard. Many good proposals have been presented in terms of policy alternatives, in terms of laws, by ourselves and other leaders. But let us be honest, no matter how good our thoughts are, no matter how beautiful our proposals are, they shall never see the light of the day for as long as Dictator Ssenyonyi is still in charge of this country. That is my firm belief. Yes, we must continue telling Ugandans the truth as it is, instead of, misleading them with eloquent speeches. We must paint to them a picture of the problem and indeed go ahead and point at where the problem is. The man who has ruled our country for almost 40 years now is not just a political opponent to us, no. He is the embodiment of Uganda's problems. He's a living testament of corruption. He's the testament of oppression. He is the embodiment of the abuse of all democratic principles. In a nutshell, he is the roadblock, he is the stumbling block between Uganda and its progress. So let us face the reality and deal with the reality as it is. It's until you diagnose the problem that you'll be able. He and his cronies live in extreme luxury while our hospitals are sick and our schools are rotting away. Yes, we have alternative policies. Yes, we have brilliant minds here in Parliament, wonderful at economics, wonderful at debating and all that. But we shall debate, we shall propose, and we shall articulate issues. But let me be clear to you, once again, my brothers and sisters, that no matter how good our alternatives are, no matter how well-intentioned you, our MPs, are, it won't make any difference for as long as we don't have any power to implement those good ideas. We must get used to that fact and deal with that fact exactly the way it is. We can draft the most comprehensive budgets, we can allocate funds meticulously, we can strategize endlessly, but as long as Museveni remains at the helm, the efforts we'll all be like rearranging cups on a falling table. We must channel all our energy. We must channel all our passion and all our abilities and all our determination towards one mission: removing the dictator and reorganizing the country as the citizens of Uganda. That is the only way this is going to be possible. So I continue to encourage all of us here present and those watching us outside that we must do what we must do. You cannot just take a step unless you unlock your feet. So for now, what we have as a great resource is our collective determination and collective will to have a free country, and after having that, then we shall go ahead to build a Uganda where all Ugandans are equal, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of where they come from, regardless of religion, tribe, or social class. We shall go ahead to build a Uganda where leaders lead with integrity, where leaders are true servants and citizens are the true masters of their destiny. So let us use this resource that we have to put an end to this dictatorship. Let us use this resource to change this country once and for all. I thank you for listening to me, for God and my country.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that very elaborate speech. We also thank the Leader of Opposition for his speech to us all. We believe we have taken in what we have been told. Now, allow me, honorable members, to invite Coach Bob to take us through a small session of, stretching so we can move forward. Thank you so much.
Can we stand up, please? Now it is our responsibility. Hands here. My very short, don't worry. All of us are here. Order, we are here. Just for instructions. I'll be counting 1. But keep the smiles.
His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the 10th President of the Republic of Uganda, has just addressed the nation about the alternative budget of the Office of the Leader of Opposition. The Right Honourable Ssenyonyi has welcomed the President in the House as they are introducing their budget to the nation. As you've heard, the President has challenged them that even if they speak a lot of English, even if they have good alternative policies without changing the government, they are doing nothing. So he has advised them to focus on the main issue of changing the leadership from the top office, that is the office of the President, and he has encouraged them to continue spreading the gospel of change. He has advised the members of Parliament to focus on teaching the nation how to focus, how to change. That's how the President has summarized in his speech. He has challenged them on who to work on these issues. Other than that, they are facing the big challenge. The President, he has just returned from the Netherlands. He returned tonight, but he could not miss the session of talking to the members of Parliament. Out of over 60 MPs from the opposition, you can check the numbers and you see how many are around. Because he has challenged them to continue spreading the gospel. On behalf of KTTV members, and on behalf of KTTV staff, amatusindize Jonan tubagala nnyo mwebalire ddala kuba baganda bange bonna betukolamu emirimu gino. Pulezidenti Pwati bw'asumalizinze obubaka bwe akyeranyiriza ababaka ba Paalamenti ssaako n'abo abakkiriza mu nkyukakyuka okumanya ekizibu ky'eggwanga lino. Abategeeza nti ekizibu ky'eggwanga lino si kirala si kwogera luzungu lulungi, si sipiiki nnungi, si polisi ennungi ze bawandiika, si byonna bye bayisa, wabula kwe kulaba nti bafaayo okutunula ekizibu ky'eggwanga lino okuviira ddala ku bukulembeze obwa waggulu obukulemberwa bannamagye Yoweri Museveni nti ekizibu ky'eggwanga kiwe kinaamala okukyuka eggwanga lijja kuba lyeyagala. Essaawa eno ababaka ba Paalamenti beeteekateekera okusomerwa bajeti y'ebyenfuna ebiri ku ludda oluvuganya gavumenti. Onaabasa mu gy'omwanda ye Minister of Finance era ajja kuba abasomeramu biki basobola okukola. Omulimu omukulu batunuulidde obuli bw'enguzi obukyasensaanya ezimu ku bitongole bya gavumenti ssaako n'ababaka ba Paalamenti ssaako n'abakulembeze ab'enjawulo. So Pulezidenti bw'ati abaadvisinze n'abasaba okulaba nti buli kimu kitambula bulungi. Tukkirize.
The Lord will see of the President, but as we continue, thank you so much, Mr. President, for giving us your time.
Will be a group photo at the stickers again?
Yeah, there is.
Bogo, why didn't you get it?
Musa, kulia. Wakomawe. Uganda. Let's do this first to get to Uganda.
Kiwedde.
I think the space is enough. We can. Let's just arrange out.
Webale kusooka nebaziza liida waffe watimu yaffe ya Parliament Honorable Ssenyonyi ne ttiimu yonna gy'akoze nayo okufulumya bajeti yaffe eno etali nnene nnyo naye ate ng'efokasinga ku bintu ebiyamba abantu ng'egoberera n'omulamwa oguusitula eddembe ly'abantu si kweyagala bweyagazi naye n'okuenjoyinga oba okunyumirwa oba okweyagalira mu bintu ebyo bibasaanira okweyagaliramu mu mateeka. Naye okusingira ddala obubaka bwange wakati mu kubeebaza olw'okuvaayo ne bajeti eno ennungi n'ebirowoozo ebirungi mbajjukiza abakulembeze baffe nti ebirowoozo ebirungi tujja nabyo bibadde nga bireetebwa naye ekizibu kye tulina ti ebirowoozo bikoma kuleetebwa. Ekizibu ekisinga ekya Uganda ye nakyemalira Yoweri Museveni nga ye sente z'eggwanga zonna azimalira mu kwekumira mu buyinza kugulirira abakulembeze bamwetoolodde na kunyigiriza abantu. So ekizibu kye tulina okusooka okugyawo ye nakyemalira Museveni, then tubeere n'eddembe ebisaasanya sente za Uganda si mu kwejalabya naye mu kutereeza ebyo ebisaana okutaasa abantu ng'amasomero ng'amalwaliro n'ebirala bifaanana bwe bityo.
Kiki oyogera ku nsonga ezigenda mu maaso batowulira mu paalamenti naddala ensonga za komishona mutuuseewo?
Well, saagala ensonga eno nene gireducinga ku muntu omu. Ensonga gye mbadde zikonyeeko ensonga y'enguzi ekutte ejjembe. Newankubadde omu ku ffe naye yasanga mu nsonga eyo, naye abamukulira be basinga okulya enguzi, okugeza sipiika waffe wano, sipiika wa paalamenti ya Uganda ye nakinku mu kulya enguzi. Era ekyo kyetaaga okwogerwako, ensi n'ekimanya, n'ensi nemukolinga out, kubanga sente ezoonoonebwa paalamenti eno zisobola okukyusa obulamu bw'abantu bungi nnyo. So obuli bw'enguzi ye kansa ayonoonye Uganda, kati kyafuuka institutional. Enguzi yafuuka ngeri ya kwekumira mu buyinza na ngeri ya kukakanya abavuganya gavumenti. So enguzi ng'ekulemberwa Anita Amongo, sipiika wa wano, nga mulimu si bokaboka ba NRM naye nga mulimu n'abaffe, kizibu nnyo era nakyo tulina okirwanyisa, ate tujja kirwanyisa. Ffe nga NUP tujja kukozesa ebikolwa si bigambo. We tulina obuyinza wonna okulwanyisa enguzi, naye twagala na buli kitongole kya gavumenti kikozesa obuyinza obwo okulwanyisa enguzi, kuba enguzi yesizigiriza Uganda emabega.
Mu kaseera kano mu kibiina kyammwe mujjudde kanjite obutalotalo oba entalotalo, tekikose nga gyemulina okutambulawo emirimu gyammwe otandika. Ensonga
y'obutalotalo mmwe bannamawulire mmwe abagiteekawo, tewali lutalo lwonna. Okuleka ng'oŋŋamba nti okola ekituufu luba lutalo. Okola ekituufu we luba lutalo, then tuli mu lutalo. Era tulina okubeera mu lutalo nga tulwanyisa enguzi, nga tulwanyisa obulyake, nga tulwanyisa obwannakyemalira, lwo luba lutalo. So si mu kibiina kyaffe, nze ndowooza mu kibiina kyaffe twandibadde nga ekyokulabirako. Buli muntu kabeere nga sipiika wa paalamenti yalidde enguzi, kabeere nga minisita n'akangavulwa nga bwe kirina okubeera. Ffe nga NUP tuba wa kyakulabirako, tuli option. Era mu Uganda empya bwe tubikola, bwe tujja obikola nga tumaze okugoba nakyemalira.
Kiki byeyogera ku bigambo bya Honorable Mpuuga bye yagamba nti you are under siege?
Saagala nnyo kukendeeza kwogera kwange kukukakanya ate kussa ku bammemba bange benkulembera mu kibiina. Njagala nnyo njogere ku nsonga ezigasa eggwanga lyonna. Kati budget eno si ya NUP yokka, wabula reflectinga ekifaananyi kya opposition yonna. So saagala ensonga za NUP ate nziyingize mu bibiina ebirala. Njagala njogere ku kintu ekigasa eggwanga lyonna, si kibiina kyokka nga NUP. Webale nnyo.
Abalina endowooza nti wanegotiating okutaaba mu baguzi ba NUP.
Kyanaku nnyo okubeera mu nsi nga tulowooza nti bwabaawo obumenyi bw'amateeka olina kuteesa n'amenya amateeka. Bwabaawo obumenyi bw'amateeka nga waliwo evidence oba obujulizi obumulumika, then amateeka gakole. Bwe mugamba nti omuntu bw'aba amenya etteeka bateesaganye naye, then tugyewo amateeka bibeere byakuteesaganya. Baganda baffe abaasibwa mu makomera tebalina musango, n'olw'ensonga eyo balina okuyimbulwa embagirawo awatali kakwakulizo kuba tebalina musango. Bwe baba balina omusango baleetebwe mu kooti bavunaanibwe, omusango gubake mu vi oba bagusinge bejjerere. So si kuteesaganya nabo. Eyo enkola ya kiyeekera, tetukkiriziganya nayo, tukkiriziganya mu nfuga ey'amateeka, era bwe tunatwala obuyinza y'enfuga gye tujja okutambulirako. It is unfortunate that we live in a country where the leadership thinks, or the rulership thinks, that when somebody commits a crime, you have to negotiate. If somebody commits a crime, then let the evidence be presented, let them be presented in a competent court, and let them be either convicted or acquitted. We are not going to negotiate our rights. We believe in the rule of law. If there is the rule of law in Uganda, let it work. If the courts function in Uganda, let them work. our brothers and sisters who are in prison for the longest time, the political prisoners, are innocent, and we continue to demand their unconditional release. We are not going to negotiate, because if you ask us to negotiate, what do you want us to give in exchange for our freedom? Bobo yagala tuteesaganye n'omuntu ng'akutte baganda baffe nga tebalina musango, oyagala ffe tumuwe eki atuwe baganda baffe, kubanga kibamba sibira dembe lyabwe, ate eddembe lyabwe eryo si beetegefu ddiwaayo, ne bwe banaateebwa bajja kusigala nga bayanira eddembe lyabwe. So si lyakuteesaako naye lyabwe bange kuba constitution erigarantinga.
How far have you gone with handling the issue of Commissioner Matthias?
Well, everything we do it in the open. We are a transparent political party. And what happened was in public. The information came from the public domain, and we dealt with it as our permit.
But the speaker responded. What's your take on the speaker's letter?
The speaker is a criminal herself. The speaker is a criminal, so we don't really have time to exchange with criminals. Thank you very much.
At this moment, internal conflicts has infiltrated your party. Will this affect the potential alternative policies?
The so-called internal conflicts are a creation of the media. As you have seen, so many TVs have been on rampage, trying to create a non-existent impression that we have conflicts. No, they're not conflicts. The only conflict we have is with criminality, is with corruption, and we deal with corruption as people that know that corruption is a cancer that has bedeviled our country. Thank you.
Maybe lastly, Honorable Mpoga says you are under siege and doesn't know how to help you. What's your take on this statement?
Well, we major on majors and minor on minors. Thank you.
Kale mwebale nnyo ndowooza ebisinga mbibudde tetugenda kusukka president ajunzise bulungi kuba oli nga bwandijaagadde ebiseera ebisinga yeewala nnyo okubeera mu ntalo naye bannamawulire bagezaako kiteekawo era awunzise nga bwe badde baagala abagambye talina budde bwogera ku muntu we major on majors and minors. His Excellency the Republic of Uganda.